Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you're all well. So we've got another pedal demo for you guys today, this time provided by the wonderful people at Crazy Tube Circuits. You may have seen some of the other videos I did, like the Blackmagic Mark II, which I really enjoyed, and the Ziggy, which was an awesome little small overdrive pedal that I really dug. Whereas this is something a bit different that I've not tried from Crazy Tube Circuits, and we're looking at the space charged tube overdrive. And so what this is it has a preamp tube inside the pedal. It's got a 12 AY7 preamp tube inside. Just a quick one on preamp tubes. You got preamp tubes and power amp tubes. Preamp tubes are there to give you the sort of characteristic and tone of the amplifier, whether it be for clean or for overdrive, that kind of thing. The cool thing with this, and I have a piece of paper that lists out all the other different preamp tubes you can use. For a start, it comes with a 12 AY7, but you can put AX7s, 5751s, 12 AT7s, and 12 AU7s in this pedal, and it will give you a different characteristic. That's really cool. The thing I like about tube overdrives is they feel really natural and real. They feel really valve ampy because it's essentially a tiny bit of the same thing. You're getting one preamp tube as opposed to sort of between 4 and 7 on some amps. But it's a really simple layout. You've got volume, you've got tone, and you've got gain across the front here, and that's it. It's really easy to change the preamp tube out. You just take the back plate off, carefully remove it, and then swap it with a new one. And it runs on a high current 9-volt DC adapter. So the cool thing with a pedal like this is it will generally blend with whatever amp it goes in front of. I always like blending a little bit of crunch, a little bit of something with any kind of overdrive. I just like the way it sounds and feels better. So I'm going to team this up with my VX Kraken from Victory Amps on a really low gain tone, and that's running straight into the 2 Notes Torpedo Studio captured with the Universal Audio Apollo 8P interface. Let's check it out. Okay, so this is the sound of the guitar straight in. So it's really low gain, and at the minute space charges all the way, it was all at halfway. So let's just kick it in and see what it does. First impressions, I think that at halfway I was expecting a tiny bit more brightness, but other than that I'm really digging the warmth and the saturation that it's provided. So let's just dance between the two. This is low gain, and then let's throw in a bit of gainage. Yeah, it's a really mid-present chewy saturation. But you're still getting all the note definition there. Which I like. You know, it's always important that you can hear all the notes within the chord when you're playing. For my personal taste, at least, you know. Anyway, let's mess around. Obviously, because we're putting this in front of an amp, the more you turn the volume up, the more it's going to drive the front end, because it's like a dB boost of level. So any amount of level increase into a front of an amp, like the Kraken or a preamp, is just going to drive it harder. But the nice thing is you can dance between, why do I keep saying dance between? You can jump between the level and the gain and just toy with what you prefer. Sometimes it's nicer and you get more of the saturation when you boost the level, and sometimes you get more of the sustain and the singing overtones when you boost the gain. So let's have a listen. So as you can hear, what I was doing was I boosted the gain and then I did the same with the level. Now obviously there was a level increase, but there was also loads more gain and harmonic content when I boosted the volume. You just got, because it was really pushing the front of the amp. And so what that's doing is it's going to blend more of the Kraken with the tone of the pedal. And well, kind of a bit of both, but that's essentially what's happening there. So let's just try the tone control real quick. So I'm quite digging the tone control in the sense that I guess when you're boosting it, it's not really piercing and shrill. It's just, obviously it's brightening everything up, but it's not really harsh. And when you pull it all the way out, it's like a low pass. So you can still hear there's a lot of content in there. But I guess I'd really, if you were running a really bright amplifier or the pedal was running into something and it was just really bright, you might find that tone control is actually really useful for still getting a usable tone just by, you know, pulling all the tone out. But yeah, I think it's well voiced for a start. And it's cool to know that there's a little tube inside there just cooking away, giving me some nice tubey tones. Right, let's swap guitars and see what kind of dirty Strat tones we can get. Okay, so I've got the Strat and I'm running, again, this is just the Kraken on its own. So, you know, there's a bit of a bite there, but it's a good foundation for me. Let's have a listen to the Space Charged. So this is a good demonstration for the tone control. From behind me, it sounds like there's a lot of sort of high mids. So if I back off the tone, it might tidy it up. Yeah, it's definitely got rid of a bit of the shrillness, but we'll push it back up just to split difference. And yeah, carry on playing. I'm loving the way it sounds with the Strat as well as humbuckers. What's cool about it is that you know, when you boost the gain and you boost the level, you do get a lot more of that intensity in the high end, but you can use the tone control just to like low pass it, just really softens it up. And on a guitar like this, through an amp like that, you do get a lot of high mids, a lot of clarity, and sometimes it's too quacky, it's too much. But that is a nice little voice, nice feature there. And whether or not it's intentional, it just works really nicely through my setup. So I was able to get rid of the things I didn't want from the sound. And overall, it's a nice, thick, saturated gain. It's got the body and the thickness of those American saturated tones, but there's a bark there from that sort of British sort of overdrive that we all know. But overall, Crazy Tube Circuits do such a good job of voicing their pedals. Everyone that I've tried, I've loved the way it sounds. And it immediately works for the way I like to play guitar. So hopefully that's the same for you guys out there. But so far, the Space Charged is doing a good job. So lastly, what I've done is I've gone back to my humbucker guitar. I've kind of leveled everything back to 12, boosted the gain a touch, and I've boosted the gain on the amplifier a tiny bit just to get some filthy riffing tonage. So this is without the supercharged. I'm with. That's just, it sounds like I've gunned the hell out of the Kraken, wide open, really, really powerful, in the room especially. So hopefully it comes across well on YouTube. I'm liking the amount of chord definition. It's a thick, saturated, high gain tone. There's really nothing I can say about it that I don't like. Just one of those things when, you know, Crazy Tube Circuits sent this, I kind of thought, yeah, it's probably going to sound pretty good. And then I plugged it in straight away. It sounds pretty good. And I've not heard it before filming this video. So again, it's my reactions at the same time as yours. And I hope you guys agree. I think it sounds pretty damn good. So there you go, guys. There's a quick look at the Crazy Tube Circuits Space Charged. My opinion of this pedal is that it is straight out the box, easy to use, sounds fantastic. It melds around the amp tones that I like, and it immediately felt comfortable to me to play with. So I'm really quite impressed, and I think it sounds very nice. It's about €239. You can buy it directly from their website. I'll put a link in the description box below. But I would expect dealers that stock Crazy Tube Circuits will stock the Space Charged. The thing that I like most about it is the fact that it actually has a preamp tube inside, but the best bit for me is that you can swap that out and try different ones, so you can get a different feel and response from the pedal depending on what it is you're trying to achieve with your sound. So I think that's a nice feature. It's intuitive, it's innovative, and yeah, it's cool, and I think you should check it out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and share. Thanks to Crazy Tube Circuits for sending this over, and I'll see you all very soon.